already, tell your friends, tweet about it, and just tell everyone that you know tomorrow is the same thing is going to happen. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. KST, we are starting with the next round of matches, and guys, there will be me, King Trauma, Jaedong, Zhangli, everyone will be there playing. It's going to be great. And here is our PvP, the next StarCraft match for today. StarCraft 2 match. To the top, bottom left, it is SKT, not KT, best. And to the top right, I just want to point this out for the guys who maybe are not as much into Brood War as we two are. He's not a teammate of Flash because SKT and KT are different teams.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw it out there.
You know what's kind of funny? If I'm not mistaken, SKT means South Korea Telecom and KT means Korea Telecom. That's what they stand for. KT usually goes by Ole these days. Ole KT, as they've kind of started this new campaign.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. So is SK. SK Planet sponsors Pro League. So both really big companies in Korea. Not quite as big as Samsung, for example. There's a team, Samsung Khan, in Pro League as well, a Kespa team. CJ, the company that owns CJ Entis, is a huge company in Korea as well. Actually owns OnGameNet as well.
Alright, Protoss vs Protoss. This time you have TSL Value, a player that I have not seen in a while.
No, nobody has really. This guy has kind of been in the shadows. One of these hidden players, doesn't get picked for Team League very often, and Nori usually kind of fills his role. A little bit of probe harass here. Now, Best is known for his PvP. He's arguably one of the best. I actually think he's one of the best players to switch over to StarCraft 2 from Brood War. Some people would argue Effort has been a little bit more successful, but Flying, Best, and Effort so far to me are the three best players who've switched so far. Well, gotta get out there a little probe. Oh! Alright, he's fine.
Yeah, just gets away from the one stalker that he already has on the map. And, well, with Value, I actually don't know too much about his PvP.
Yeah, neither do I, actually.
I have to, I'm definitely looking up now who he had to beat so far in the tournament in order to arrive at this round, because I think we are in the semifinals at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct. And, oh! That probe, poor guy. We are seeing a much faster warp gate research from Value, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure the reason. Probably just either used an extra chrono or built his cybernetics core a little bit faster. And at this point, Best is probably going to tech to robotics, I would say. Like I mentioned earlier, he's really known for his Colossus play and his Colossus celebration.
Value was able to win against Sin with 2-0, and he beat Suo Shin, ex-Xenex line. So now he's playing against Best in the PvP. And, well, on the other side of the grid, we have Happy facing Arya in the second semifinal. So whoever is going to win here will advance to face either one of them. And Happy looked pretty strong so far. He defeated both his opponents to get into the semis.
Yeah, and look at this. 2 additional gateways going down for Value, who is going for that Twilight Council. Likely going to be Blink Stalker play. Now, of how much does he commit to this, we will see. He may get Blink and then go for a Nexus without making very many Stalkers and use the Blink to help kind of harass and go for backstabs. Gotta be careful with this. Alright, now he's got the Zealot here, but he may lose a Stalker! Oh, nicely done by Value. We saw Best actually with great micro against Choya though, and he did not make very many mistakes in that battle.
He's going for the expansion here, already with the Nexus on its way. On the other hand, we have Value with his Twilight Council and Blink halfway done.
Yeah, and he's getting 2 additional gates, as we mentioned before. Warping in the Stalker right away. Now, once he sees this Nexus, he is going to start putting on the pressure. There is the forward pylon. Blink Stalkers do not care about force fields, as everybody knows. This is going to be a pretty tough push to hold for Best.
Value tries to put a lot of pressure here, and this is one of the things that I think is the best way to engage a Brood War player, in my opinion, because of course they've been playing for quite a while now, and of course they are awesome when it comes down to micro and macro, but at the same time this early pressuring is something that they might not be able to deal with in the fashion and an experienced player.
Exactly, they don't have enough experience of facing this type of strategy, and this is tough to hold. I think it's funny because in the GSTL and in the individual leagues recently, like for example in Naniwa's games, usually the games are going longer. We're seeing micro builds. All right, one stalker blinks up. The rest of the stalkers are allowed in because of the vision, but he doesn't have enough of them up here just yet. He needs more.
Why doesn't he blink? The units on the low ground, they had the chance of blinking up. He would have completely overwhelmed his opponent's unit count. He did not blink up, the 3 stalkers were trapped on the low ground.
The ones
misblink?
Yeah, the ones on the low ground were a misblink. The second time
okay.
he didn't blink up because he knew that with a defensive warp in, his opponent might have too much for him. He warps in 1 sentry, and he's going to use this to contain his opponent. This is something a lot of Kespa players are doing right now, actually. Blink stalker attacks with a sentry to contain.
And here comes the Immortal, but will he be able to save the Nexus?
No.
I don't think so either. We have
not with the force field.
That's too much, yeah, exactly. There's the sentry for the force field. As soon as he starts to move down, the force field will hit. The expansion is long gone. 32 harvesters, though, for our SKT Protoss. Best currently just trying to hold this ramp, and he has an observer, but here comes the expansion for value. He follows this up when an expansion just tries to get into good position, containing his opponent.
He's going, he's going for Warp Prism rather than Colossi to get out of here. This actually is not what Value will expect, I don't think.
It's also dangerous against Blink Stalkers. With a good Blink, the Warp Prism is going to die. The robotics in the main base. Value just trying to get ahead in economy now. He has a lot of sentries at the low ground, so he can force field this ramp over and over again, completely containing his opponent, which is exactly what he does. He tries to get ahead here. I like this play. Early aggression, taking down the expansion, but it will all come down to his defense against this Warp Prism attack.
Yeah, he's actually just sending Zealots out here, interestingly enough. Whoop! He's got more force fields
I think he just
though.
realized that he trapped 3 sentries.
Oh, this is a weird battle.
Yes, it's a very, very weird battle.
Sentry on sentry. How would this force field affect that? Well, additional gateways going down for Value back at home. And this Warp Prism, I think, is not going to do very much, considering that he sent a lot of units home.
Yeah, he's on the retreat now with every single stalker that he has, and there are no... Did he see it?
I don't think he saw it at all.
Did it pass the pylon at the right side? I don't think so, but...
I don't think so.
Might have.
Either way, he is just ready for it. He sent everything home to defend against a possible ground attack, so he's here in case. Now, this Warp Prism may just be used once he attacks at the front. He's going to drop in the main base at the same time, do a 2-pronged attack in that way. Or, if he forces the units of Value into the main, he can trap with a force field from the outside those units. But with Blink, he may be able to blink down. It's always a little bit awkward when you do this, but here we go. Zealots dropping in the main. Those gateways just now finishing up. Great force field block here, though, by Value, so he can get in here, defend his base, and then come back.
He has to blink now. He has to take this Warp Prism out. If he wants to be safe for a while, he needs to make sure that this Warp Prism is not warping in additional units. And he still has the time to pull it off. A few units were able... he has to go to the low ground.
Yep, and the Warp Prism remains alive as well as 1 Zealot here.
Picks out the units that Best is on the high ground right now. And here comes the Warp Prism again. Value a little bit shaky.
Yeah, Value looking a little bit shaky. You're certainly right here. The Observer may die, which means no more high ground vision. But the Immortals are starting to break through, and Value on the retreat with his probes now. One Immortal, though, goes down for Best, and Value's Immortal is now out.
And this certainly changes things. On the low ground, we now have the probes, but here's the Warp Prism once again. He needs to take it out. We have Zealots in the main base as well. And of course, those Zealots are going to die, but Best is on the high ground now with the rest of his army.
Yeah, we're going to have to see really good Blink Stalker Micro from Value here. Will he be able to blink forward and take out that Immortal? Decides to blink towards his main to defend. Right now, the worker count 36 to 24.
There's still shields for the main gate Nexus, but now additional Zealots. He might lose the Nexus here.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage being done.
It's too much damage. The Nexus is definitely going down here. This one Immortal is holding the ramp, but at the same time, the main Nexus is probably...
It's going to go down.
Yeah, he has to die. Oh.
Well, that is very unfortunate for Value. Best making a great attack, making the best out of a tough situation with what he faced earlier on.
Yeah, he's way ahead now of his opponent. 2 base against 1. He has a decent tech. He has the Immortals. He's actually... no, it's Value is trying to go... He's trying to fight fire with fire here. Going for the Warp Prism. But this is an army supply. He's behind. He's behind in Harvesters. No. Just look at the income here. He didn't have any gas income anymore because at the natural he didn't have those 2 assimilators that he needed. And now the Twilight Council for Best. The expansion, well, the main base, will take a long time to be rebuilt. That's just way too tricky. And this Warp Prism is still alive.
Yeah, the funny thing is, with a Warp Prism like this, whenever you get behind like this, you need to do a big attack. And the second that he does a big attack, then the Warp Prism just warps in Zealots. And it's like, well, what do? I can't move out, but I can't wait either. It's almost like checkmate for a TSL player. He still has Blink, but he just doesn't have enough Stalkers to make anything happen with it. And Best is getting his own counter Blink right now.
He's way behind in overall supply, and as you said, it's basically checkmate. He cannot make a move. Everything that he does would be wrong except for this Warp Prism. This is the only thing that he might be able to pull off. But is he going to do damage with it, or will Best? He already warps in units. Whatever Value does here, it will be a little bit too late. Blink is now started for Best. He's halfway done with it. As soon as he has this upgrade, he can just rely on Blink in order to take down the Warp Prism. Maybe he's even able to catch it now.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he doesn't get it yet, but he's got it surrounded. He's got just so much more units out on the map. And with Blink done, he can just go for an attack of his own. Look at that Warp Prism. He knows exactly... The Observer, rather, knows exactly what the Warp Prism is. This attack may just be the end of Value. 3 Stalkers to defend against the Warp Prism. He's got an Observer to spot it, so there's no way it can sneak past. There we go. The Best attack has not been executed. I don't know. I'm trying not to say the best, but I'm making a lot of mistakes here.
This happens to me the entire time during this game. I'm always trying to avoid Best and the Best, but it's just basically impossible.
Well, I know he's Best, but I've never commentated him before. This is a little bit weird for me. Oh, that's
nice.
exactly what we're talking about. Follow the Warp Prism.
Blink.
Well,
Blink is ready. He didn't use it though because
he's busy
he was busy.
doing this.
Exactly,
Yeah.
he was busy killing his opponent.
He's like, well, I'm sorry, I had to kill you.
But the Warp Prism is gone anyways.
Yep.
The Warp Prism is gone and the main army will evaporate now. GG. 1-0 for Best.
Best looking good so far.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed he does. So 1-0 for Best. He has another GSL player on the ropes, but the next opponent is actually going to be Value again because they are not done just yet. This was only the first game of the best of 3. Earlier was able to defeat Shoya.
This is the semifinals, right?
Yes, exactly.
Who does he play against on the other side?
In the final he has, as mentioned before, either Happy or Aria.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, you told me that already. Okay, so that should be probably Happy will win, but Aria has played some really cool games on the ladder. I heard a lot of people like Husky and some other people were just doing YouTube commentary on his games. I don't know a lot about him, but I've heard that he's good and that he does a lot of funny stuff on the ladder. That'll be interesting to see how good he really is. His ID is also the name of a character from Game of Thrones and the name
It's
of...
not Game of Thrones. The series is called Song of Ice and Fire.
All right.
This is important.
I didn't actually know that was the name of the series. I thought that was just one book in the series.
Game of Thrones is one book of the series. Yeah, that's right. And they named the TV series